Ain't nobody humping around. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Dan Legacy Internet Radio. Be down with us tonight. Call us at 804-402-2893 is the number to dial. Be part of the show tonight. We're going to keep the show moving as we progress throughout the night. I want to thank those folks that have already checked in and thank the folks who are thinking about checking in and have not yet. 804-402-2893 is the number to call, or hit us up in social media on one of the fan pages. Ain't no half Steppin, Marcus J, Legacy Internet Radio, or hit us up if you know us personally. Thanking those folks listening to us on Streamer, TuneIn, as well as the replays right now on iTunes and on YouTube. It's because y'all rocking with us. It's why we rolling with y'all. Mr. 3375, he about to take us in his room. His room is known as
the Sham Pipple Room.
The Sham Pipple Room.
Okay.
I want to know what it's like in there. You about to take us in the Sham Pipple Room. All right, so what's it like in the Sham Pipple Room?
Oh man, it's nice, dark.
Velvet on everything.
Velvet on everything. You know what I'm saying? The leopard.
It's purple. It's purple. It's purple. The leopard skin with the leopard head still on that joint.
We got the lava lamps and all of that.
Oh my goodness, my goodness. Well, I'm glad to be in the Sham Pipple Room. Having a little bit of champagne and ripple. Shout out to Uncle Fred Sanford. That's SANFORD. Period. All right, what you got, brother?
All right, we're gonna do some relationship scenarios. I have some questions some people have sent on Facebook. So one guy says, so I've been talking to this girl for a few months, and we hit it off. We're both 27, and she has a daughter, and I don't have any kids. And she asked me why not. And my exact words was, because I don't want to be in a situation where my kids or the court got to decide whether they're with me or their mom. And she took it as an insult. Do you think she should have took it as an insult?
Can I answer as the woman?
Yeah.
That answer given to me makes it seem like we're not going to be together after a while. So you're already expecting us not to work if we're talking about us in the future. So that's probably why she got a little upset, if she took it as it being a question regarding him and her. Now, if she misunderstood it and he didn't mean it that way and he was just saying any situation, then that's different. But more than likely, as a woman, I could say she probably took that as me and him have a child. He's going to leave me or we're not going to be together. So,
okay. Mark?
Because that's what women do.
Can I answer this as a man?
Yes, sir, you can.
I had no problem with the question. It reminds me of like a prenuptial agreement. Like people want to have all the information and they want to have kind of insurance or in case of. And, you don't go into a relationship thinking that it's going to get messed up. People get married thinking it's going to last forever, then it don't last forever. And I think being a grown-up about it and having a discussion about it is better than not. And then you end up, 10, 15, 17 years later, and you're looking around, you're like, not sure how I feel about being here right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and especially, and I mean, I guess I'm kind of answering it in a relationship segment way, but you mentioned it in like a child care thing. Like we know as men, the courts don't view us as favorably as they view women. And, whether that's fair or not, it's just kind of the way it is. And so, you got a man who's all about his child, who doesn't want to lose his relationship with his child because he is no longer interested in having a relationship with this woman, and now he's scared. Right. And so this man, to me, sounds like he's just asking questions. I want to know, right? How this going to work out.
Well, check it out, though, because it's rest. It's more.
Okay.
And he says she's going through that right now.
Hope before you do that, Hakeem says he didn't mean any harm, but he definitely phrased it incorrectly. He doesn't think that he did that purposely. I wanted to get that comment in before you continue. Go ahead.
And he says she's going through that right now with her daughter and her daughter's dad.
Okay. So if that was his reasoning for the
so he's already going through this now.
She is.
She's going through this.
He don't have any kids.
That's right. That's right. You said that. So she's already going through it, and she got the nerve to get mad? For real? FOH.
But I'm telling you, there's probably, we
FOH.
emotional.
I'ma tell
We the
you,
ones.
I agree with him,
Yeah,
man.
I'm
Like,
definitely
you
emotional.
really have to, pick and choose because, like, I waited till I was 36, because I seen my homeboys go through so much with their kid's mother, and I was like, that is not going to be me. So I definitely feel him.
I mean, it's definitely different ways that this relationship thing can go. I mean, he could have just went ahead and head first and took his didn't mean it sound like that. And then dealt with whatever came up and then have to make a decision later on. I mean, you like to know where you stand with certain things, because if you don't ask questions in the beginning,
Right.
then it's difficult to be able to say anything later on. That's how people end up getting stuck, because it's like, well, damn, people real quick to say, well, you made this choice, you should just deal with it. Like, if I'd have asked these questions early on, I might have made a different decision. So I don't have no problem with the brother asking. I just don't.
That's true.
I
I
think-
mean, now that I know that he actually knows she's going through that same situation already, and maybe he sees something, and now that I know that, maybe he sees something in her that she's creating a problem with him having custody or whatnot. But that would be speculation. I don't know, but I can understand his answer now.
I got a hit on Instagram. I just know her as The Universe Loves Me 1400, and she said she think it was a valid question, and his answer was honest. And in her mature days, she would have misinterpreted the question, but don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay.
There
Okay.
you have it. and there you have it. And have Steppin Marcus J live from the Den. Legacy Internet Radio, 804-402-2893. That's the number to dial if you want to be down with the show live on air. Mr. 3375. I got to shorten that. Can I just call you 75 or Mr. 33 or,
Hey,
I mean, I don't know. Can I skip letters and call you 37? I don't know.
yeah.
Mr. 35? I don't know.
75.
What you got, brother?
All right. Another one. About 7 years ago, I was in an unhealthy relationship. I got involved with a man, and I believe I could change him. He was very violent eventually. I became depressed, lost contact with all those I love, etc. I was pregnant when he decided to show his true colors. Well, for the sake of my child, I decided to try out the relationship, and we moved in together. Eventually, the relationship got so bad, I had my son and decided to leave. I acquired a restraining order, and everything got worse before it got better. But he stopped contacting me. Fast forward, I am now in a healthy, year-long relationship, very happy, had another child, and my man has been a true father to my children. Well, this man I still have a restraining order on is now contacting me trying to be a father, blaming me as if he was not, that it was her fault that he was not in the child's life. This guy smoke, he's drama, and he's in and out of jail. I really do not want him around my child. He's not safe to be around, plus he's violent. Am I wrong for keeping my child away from him?
Well, that's a difficult one because, I can't endorse keeping a parent away from their child, male or female. But if this person has already exhibited violent tendencies, whereas there's a restraining order that's on file and there's proof that this person is violent, then there needs to be some sort of way that we can compromise. Maybe we can have supervised court-ordered visits. Like, I don't know that I'm okay with there being no contact with this person's child, male or female. But at the same time, you're a crazy person, and I can't be around you,
Right.
crazy person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is one of those things where we might have to talk about how we can do this. Just you're a crazy person, go away forever. I'm not sure that I'm okay with that. This is a difficult one, Bless.
Well, I was gonna say that I've seen, I've read stories about, one father has been told that he can't see the child because he was abusive to the mother, and the next thing you know, he kills the child.
Wow.
So that has happened. I think he threw his child off a bridge or something,
Wow.
and the mother had allowed him to go. But for a restraining order to still be in effect, that seems like it's a long time. So she must have
Right.
gone back to the courts to renew it if she's been in a year-long relationship with someone else. I don't think restraining orders usually last for years unless you
Right.
go back and have it renewed for some reason.
Unless he did something real violent towards her, you know. But I think if that's the case, supervised, you know,
That probably be the best.
supervised visitation for starters.
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Counseling,
there
everything.
there are places that you can go that I've seen where they have designated places where you can meet. You know what I mean? Like places that are literally designed for like drop off and pick up and stuff like that. And so, you know, if you want to go and meet at the mall, if you want to go and meet, you know, at the library or someplace like that. I mean, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, if you're serious, you got to show that you're serious.
Right.
And, you know, someplace where you know there's security
Yep.
in case you act crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Because it might just be a ploy for him to try to get back into her life.
Oh yeah.
So
it
you
very
just
well
don't
could
know.
be. And it might be a situation where she designates someone in her family to be the person that takes the child that day as opposed to
True.
it being her. That way he doesn't see her.
Right.
And
But
he
at the same
can't-
time, that could be a risk to your family member too, depending on how crazy he is.
It depends on how crazy he is,
Right.
but it also depends on who the family member is because
Yeah.
I can tell you if it was my sister, I would do it.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I definitely would do it. Yeah.
Isn't it if he's paying child support, he should be able to see the child. Evidently, they're not together. He should be paying some sort of support to her. And that would stipulate that he would be able to see his child if he's paying child support on time. So I don't know.
I would
I think that at least that's Virginia, as far as I know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about those laws. You know, I guess I should study them. But I would guess if you're spending money, you know, legally on your child, then you should have some sort of legal right to see
Right.
the child if you so choose to do. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of people on this planet that pay their child support have no interest in seeing the child.
Right.
There are people like that. They just are.
Yeah.
You know, we don't
Yeah.
have to speak on them. We know how I feel
Or
about
some
them.
that
Yeah.
don't want, they give up their parental rights. I'm sorry. I'm talking from personal
Nah, I can dig it. There's a whole lot of that.
Yeah, there's a
going
whole
on.
lot of that. And I can't-
That's what
you
we
know,
do here.
Like I can't see that for me and my kids. Like
Yeah, I mean,
you know, like how
know.
would you not? How can you not want to be around your kid? That doesn't make any sense
mean,
to me.
the
I can't
sacrifice.
comprehend that.
the sacrifice that a parent, a real parent makes for their child. You know, I could just speak for myself. You know, the sacrifices that I've made for my child are immeasurable,
Right.
and I'll do it. I'll continue to do it.
I think
You know-
that goes to show a level of maturity for the men, too.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, at some point, you got to decide, you know, how much you can live with as an individual. But going back to this particular case, if this is someone who really wants to be a grown up, who really wants to see their child, then they have to be willing to make whatever compromise to make, you know, the other parent comfortable
Right.
with them being around the child.
Right.
And, you know, I'm very specific about being gender neutral here as I'm speaking. I'm
Right.
doing that on purpose because there's some crazy chicks too.
There
Right.
are a
Right.
lot that make them pay.
And me, I always said, you know, just get along because eventually they're gonna become teenagers, and you won't even have to have contact with each other. Especially with cell phones, it's just how the kid would just call you, and you just call the kid.
Yeah,
You know.
I mean, but see, I had you know, it's funny you say that, man, because I was having a conversation with a brother just a couple of days ago, very similar, you know, because this brother has a situation going on with regards to his teenage child and the child's mother, and the unfortunate reality was, you know, he wasn't able to spend time with his child like he wanted to when she was younger.
Right.
And so that time that he could have been spending with her, the mother was able to, you know, I don't like to use the word brainwash, but you
but
know,
it's
she
what they do.
just kind of got a negative feel for her dad based upon some of the things that mom said. So
Right.
now, like you said, you know, I ain't got to deal with moms no more. I could just call my child, but his child don't really want to rock with him like
Right.
you would think that she should, because she didn't have, you know,
Him in their life.
earlier. and it wasn't even his fault.
I think that's going to take time. That situation that you're talking about is going to take time for her to grow up and see how her mother has done what she's done, and for her to make the decision herself on what she's going to do from there on, if she's still going to not rock with him just because mom said so, or I see mama has a tendency to make things up and make somebody into a bad guy, and I'd rather spend time with him and see for myself.
Right.
Universe Love Me 400 say she's a abuse substance counselor. She said if you go through the legal system, a child may be appointed a lawyer or a law guardian is nothing more and nothing less than an attorney for the child who's appointed by the court. It is equal to all other lawyers appearing in the case, subject to the same rules and conduct and ethics, and must actively represent his or her client, the child, the law guarding the creation of the statute. So
I mean, that's
yeah.
I mean, that's the big joker.
Yeah.
Throw it on the table. That's it.
She said she's heard these issues all too often. I'm only speaking regardless of laws in New York. So she's from New York.
I can dig it. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial to be a part of the discussion. Mr. 3375, we got any more?
Yeah.
It's a mouthful, ain't it? Yeah.
I had one. I wasn't going to read it, but I think I am going to read this one once I find it again. I'm going to go back to that one when I find it. I'm going to do this one.
Uh-oh.
How should you feel if your spouse doesn't introduce you to his kids?
Your spouse?
Yeah, we have a daughter together, which is still in the hospital, and she haven't met his daughter yet.
So you're married, you've had your own child with this man, and you haven't met. I'm
assuming they married because he said spouse.
Yeah, and you haven't met his other daughter yet.
Right.
I mean, it could be any reason why he hasn't met her. Maybe she's in another state. If she's not in another state, then maybe it's the mother that doesn't want. I mean, you can't make someone that's not of the immediate family do something that they don't have to do. I don't think that evidently that child is not in the house.
Right.
I would think that they don't have some sort of visitation to go off of, because if that was the case, I would think he would bring her home,
Right.
bring the daughter home to meet his wife at some point. But if he's just obstinate and said, no, I don't want you to meet her, then there might be an issue of some sort.
Right. I mean, it could go, maybe hiding something. I mean, that's how I look at it. Like,
He's still married before.
yeah,
He's a bigamist.
Now you got two wives. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, why wouldn't, if this the person, you want to spend the rest of your life with, why you not going to introduce them to your kids?
It could be any reason. She could not be in the state. We don't know.
I mean,
That one's kind of vague, though.
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Dan Legacy Internet Radio. I want to get a special guest on the mic. He's been in the room kind of taking care of business. We always put him to work when he's here, but he is finished taking care of the work, and now he's here to play. I got my brother, Mr. LP Steven Sykes, who hosts Live on Radio every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern on these very rare airwaves. Mr. LP, what's up, man?
I'm doing all right. Happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays. We got Mr. LP and Mr. 3375. We got all these misters up in this joint. I got to make sure I keep my respect in order, though. You doing all right?
So far, so good. I've been enjoying the month. I'm still celebrating in some ways here and there and just trying to get ready for the new year. A lot of pushing things to try to get stuff going and just taking it one step at a time and trying to not get drowned from the rain.
I can dig it. Now, we're going to get you in on this question. Mr. 3375, set it up one more time for Mr. LP. What's the question one more time?
Basically, she has a spouse, and they have a kid together, which is still in the hospital, but she haven't met his other kids yet.
Mm-hmm.
So she's wondering, what can she do?
Okay, I'm not sure that I understand that because
Okay,
I was distracted talking to Mr. LP when
She
you set this
said-
up initially. So basically,
She said, how should you feel if your spouse doesn't introduce you to his kids?
his previous children.
Right. We have a daughter together, which is still in the hospital, and she haven't met his other daughter yet.
So you mean to tell me
Yeah.
9 months of pregnant and whatever time of courting passed and she still ain't met the previous kids?
Exactly.
Mr. LP, you want to jump on that one before I do?
Okay. See, the question it makes me it's frustrating because as a guy that's more so than most leaning towards a female understanding of things, but I just think that's just dumbness that the first off that she shouldn't have had a child with the guy. Now things happen, I get that, and things, but you know, if you're going to try to continue to have a relationship with this guy, you already made your bed with it, so you have to, you know, accept that. If he still continues to not have it, then there's something hide, and if you want to press it, then you need to consider, is it worth continuing to have a relationship with this person? Because if what is it going on, where is it something that he cannot see, or is it something where he's being prevented for some other reason? The truth is not being told. And what bothers me is some women in general tend to get themselves in a situation where is that now you're just throwing caution to the wind. You're having a child by somebody that basically is not being forthright with you. And so if it's a situation, I can understand that. Just let me know, because we have a child together.
I hear you. And I generally I tend to agree with you, but I'm gonna take a little bit more of an aggressive position and say, what the hell is going on that you gonna have a kid with a dude and you ain't seen the other kids?
But she said that's her spouse, though.
Spouse mean married to me.
How long would
Okay,
it
so
married?
so you marry? See, okay, so I guess I did miss that. So it makes me a little bit more, you know, aggressive in making my point. She's married to a dude, has the dude's baby, and she ain't met his other kids. I mean, you know, you can hear by how excited I am even saying that
Right,
part. That
right.
I don't even need to say anymore.
See, I was trying not to be.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
that's crazy. That's crazy. 804-402-2893. That's crazy.
Move it right.
Yeah, go ahead and move along.
Right
Let's
along.
move right along, because if that person is listening, then you
This
crazy.
one right here. This one. Oh my God. This one is the crazy.
Okay.
He said, "My girlfriend that I ain't gonna say the word, that I've been having sex with for a couple of months wants to put a strap on and have sex with me in my ass." I told her, hell no. I don't get down like that. She's mad at me and said she used to do it to her ex. And
Then she needs to go back with him.
and he enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
I asked her, what do you get out of it? She said, what do you get out of that?
She likes
said
giving
it turns
pain.
her on to hear her man moan while she's having sex with him in his butt.
She
Is
likes
this
pain.
true,
giving
or are
pain.
there ladies out there that get turned on by this?
Okay, I can tell you from not my own personal experience, but from knowing a lot of people. Yes, it's a very common thing. Well, it's been there. It's just now being more and more open.
It's a common thing in homosexual
well,
relationships,
right, but no, but you do. But even in quote unquote non-homosexual marriages and relationships, there are some women that are doing this because they like the feel of aggressiveness, and doing other positions was not enough satisfactory to them.
Choke him.
I thought it was like, see, I said I was with you. I said choke. There's handcuffs. There's whips. There's S&M. There's a bunch of other things if you want to be aggressive. Going that far is just a little bit much. But I've had this conversation with some people just not too long ago that it's a common thing. It's just been coming out more. But my advice is let that person be and move on. Find somebody else.
That's my advice. She needs to go back with the old one from
Yeah,
what.
like that's a deal breaker.
Now, I've had a discussion with a heterosexual male who had sex with a woman one time, and she stuck a finger up there, which shocked him because he wasn't expecting it. But I'm sure his response was going to be to punch her in her face. Number one, until he realized how good it felt, and he continued on with it. Now, that's a finger compared to a dildo. I can't. I understand the whole prostate feeling good and all of that good if you want to go to biological and feel good way. But no, that I understand where he's coming from. No, she needs to go back where she came from.
No, I guess it's like the pressure for, like you said, prostate's one thing, but no.
Marcus
No.
J.
I mean, no.
She wants to be aggressive. She should be like, what's those?
I can tell you, from personal experience, I can't speak for any other man, but I like a woman who's going to be a little bit more aggressive. That's just me. The passive thing doesn't really work for me. That being said, you got to know your audience. You can't go in and be Dice Clay at the church on Sunday, doing your Dice Clay routine.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we all adults here. I'm gonna speak freely here for a minute. When you rocking with somebody in that way, the first few times, you feeling each other out. It's like a boxing match. You know what I mean? You're not gonna run right up on them because you might get knocked out. So
Right.
you're gonna go in it slowly, not literally, but you know what I'm saying. You're gonna ease in, the little weird shit you like. You're not gonna just throw all the crazy shit in the first time that you with somebody. But by the time you get to that point, you ought to know the crazy quirks that you into that ain't gonna fly with that person.
Exactly.
So you ought to know. I mean, I guess you at some point you got to ask. If you really want to know, you got to ask. And I don't know that I blame her for asking. But, I mean, if she want to know, she want to know. But
as the young
In
kids
the
say, she
other-
tried it.
In the other relationship, who brought that up? I know she didn't just think one day, you know what, I'm
But
going to
you know
go
what, though?
I
get
really
my
think
dildo out the
that-
box.
he
probably
and
was
go-
So it take a
bisexual.
while.
But you
know
probably
what
was
that tells me?
bisexual.
Some people
That's
start
what I
feeling
was. That's
comfortable.
exactly what I was
Yeah.
about to say. She might have some bisexual tendencies, and she may very well be attracted to bisexual men. You know what I mean? And so that's probably why. I mean, we all speculate and we don't
Yeah,
know.
we
And
don't.
as a heterosexual male who finds himself, I guess, for lack of a better term, tolerant of all. I'm more likely to listen and have the conversation. There's some brothers that don't even want to listen and have the conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I'll listen.
Yeah.
When I say listen and have a conversation, I'm talking about this one. I'm not talking about the one that
It's
she
like
in
it-
this year.
yeah,
Let me
like
make
that
that
one.
clear.
All
Let me
right,
make
all
that
right.
clear. I'm talking about this conversation.
Yeah.
Because I know some brothers that have already, there's some brothers listening right now that have already checked out. They done with us until we move on to something else.
Yeah, they like.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so we got to keep it 100 for them.
Right.
So, bruh, I'm with you, but I got to host the show too. It ain't just for
Right.
y'all. You know what I mean? And so, but in all seriousness, Mr. 3375, just, tell your friend that she deserves whatever she gets
Yep.
from him. If she gets, you know what, baby, I don't think I want to do that, then she deserves that. If she gets, get the hell out of my house, then she deserves that too.
Yeah.
I mean, she deserves whatever she get.
She lucky she didn't get hit in the eye.
She lucky. I mean, that's where you press the eject button.
Because it's like I don't spend all this time, and then now you want to throw this blank up my face.
Good Lord, no.
All right,
Agreed.
we're gonna move on to the next one.
Please.
I wasn't gonna ask, but I'm like, yo, this ain't no half
Hey,
step.
hey,
thank you
know
for
what I'm
bringing
saying?
that
No,
one.
I have
I
no
just
problem with
thought-
having that
yeah,
discussion
that was
and
just
things. I'm just
crazy.
mad that you're going to bring this up now after all this time.
Okay, the next one. If you know a man or woman that has every good characteristic you want in a mate, but the catch is not attractive to them physically at all, should you still try to pursue a relationship with them? How important is the sexual attraction in a long-term relationship? Would you miss out on someone who could possibly be your other half if you weren't attracted to them?
The lights, when the lights go out, everybody look the same. So,
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J live from the Den Legacy Internet Radio. Before we continue with that, of course, joining us here in the show is my big sis and yours, the co-host of this show. We got my big sis S.Y. Butler. What's up, baby? Flip the switch. Can't hear you. Flip the switch. Is it on?
Can you get me? Can you
I got you. What's up, big sis?
Ain't nothing. What's going on?
Not much, man. You hear this? You hear this craziness, man?
I hear it.
You hear this craziness?
I hear it.
I'm gonna throw you right into the fire. Mr. 3375 set that last one up. You got good characteristics. You kind of the bomb, but you ugly as hell. Was that kind of the gist
Yeah,
of it?
Pretty much.
Okay, all right.
Pretty much.
Good characteristics,
but physically unattractive.
Physically unattractive. Everything you want in a man, but he looks like
You know,
the
when
man
you're physically unattracted to somebody, all those other things you don't notice. All those other things are completely invisible. All that's happening is he's annoying me or she's annoying me because you're physically unattracted to that person. So all those great qualities that he has or she has, they're going to be void when it comes to somebody who thinks that they're not physically attractive. So, you know, basically you shouldn't even get yourself in that situation, which you can manage. You don't have to end up in there. If they're physically attracted from the start, you're pretty much just friends. So why would you let
Right.
it go any further if you're physically unattracted?
So
to that
all the
person?
ugly people get put in the friend
I
zone. Is
know,
basically what
right?
you're saying.
Sorry.
No, I can dig it. I mean, I guess I would tend to agree with that. I mean, I'm one of those people who, you know, I guess as a man, you know, I'm gonna see you. I see you. I see that you're attractive to me.
Well, thank you.
I don't find that, you know, I'm not one of those, you know, it's on the inside that counts people in the beginning. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you get to know somebody and then you start falling for them after you get to
Right.
know them. But when you first see them, like that pow moment, when you first see a person, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? You first see her, she got the skin you like, and she got the hair you like, she got them lips.
And she the devil inside. Keep on.
Yeah,
saying
no,
it.
but see,
Okay.
I got you on that. But you know, you are going to be attracted, particularly as a man. You know, people don't like to hear when you break it down by gender, but the reality
That's
is,
the truth, though.
it's kind of the way things really are. I mean, I can't speak for what women do. Y'all chicks, y'all do that. As a dude, the first thing that we're gonna see is you. We're gonna see that you coming in the package that we like. And so after that, when we start to get to know you, if we are still digging you, that's when the it happens. That's when the love happens. It's like at that point, you know, maybe, you know, you can overlook, you know, certain, not a mole,
Right.
you don't overlook a mole. You don't overlook that. You know what I mean? But, you know, maybe she got a club foot. You might, you know, you might, you know, you might overlook that. But in all seriousness, I mean, I don't know that I would get to those great characteristics, me personally.
If you're not physically attracted.
There was a movie called The Truth About Cats and Dogs. It's a wonderful movie.
Yeah, and there was also a movie called Shallow Hal.
That was my movie right there.
That movie was hilarious.
Jack Black. Jack Black.
Boy, that's a funny movie.
But
boy.
that was good.
You gotta watch Shallow Hal. Mr. LP, what you think? man?
So part of me is saying the decline, but you know that's not going to be me. As a guy that had been through similar situations and things, and I'm confident enough to keep on going. But I could see where in a lot of situations where a lot of guys have run into that, and a lot of women have gone into that. You know, sometimes the person may grow into you and things like that, and sometimes whoever guides that individual, but sometimes people are placed into you for a certain reason to open up, because sometimes what often happens, really like 99% of the time, people are not with their quote-unquote type. They're totally different, because when you got past the BS of all the things, and like you said, you know, everybody's the same color in the dark, you will realize what's really important in the end. And I would rather, yes, you will want somebody attractiveness, but you know, you sometimes start becoming more attracted to a person that really got your back. I'm attracted to the person physically. There's someone who got some intelligence. I got somebody that I'm attracted to, that person physically, who can give it back to me mentally and whatever. Cut my blank if I'm wrong, and got my back when I'm right.
Right.
You know, so that's where I see it.
I understand that, and you know that makes complete and total sense. I mean, you know,
I do now, but now, to your credit, because we've talked about this before, I do recognize I'm different.
but then the thing is, yeah, you're different. You and I are different in this, but I think where we're not different is that beauty. I guess to be corny, beauty is really in the eye
Eye
of the
of the
beholder.
beholder.
Mhm.
So
You know
what
what I
ain't for
mean?
one person could be for somebody
Right,
else.
you know what I mean?
Right.
So if me and Stevie Wonder find somebody, you know, not the same on an attractive level, you know, then I might be wrong and Stevie might be right. I mean, you just don't know.
Ray Charles or Holder.
It's not
Holder
in his
Ray.
eye.
You know what I
Not in
mean?
his eye.
You know what I mean? It's like, you know, maybe I like, you know, a woman with a big forehead.
Yeah,
know?
everybody's
And-
idiosyncrasies.
Sade.
and Galdolf ears. What's the name? Galdolf or whatever from Lord of the Rings. Maybe I like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of those movies.
Yeah, I
I'll
was
tell
trying
you.
to make a joke. It obviously didn't go over very well, but I mean, but yeah. But I mean, what one person might find attractive may not be the same as another
Right.
person. I don't even really know. Honestly, I think we kind of got off topic. I don't know if we're really addressing what the person says. What the person basically is saying is, I don't know that I could get past the fact that I'm not attracted to
Yeah,
this person
that-
that has the whole package other than how they look. Is
They
that it?
need
Just
to be upfront and just let them know.
Yeah.
I don't think we can go any further than this friend zone. I'm
because the
sorry.
truth is, being attractive is part of it.
Yeah.
Isn't that part of it?
True.
I mean, like, you know, you really want to feel
Yeah, you
something.
wouldn't
Like, just
even-
because a person is like a great person and do all of these cool
Yeah.
things, but don't you really want to feel?
You wouldn't even
Is this a
approach
real
that person
question?
though.
Yeah.
You know
A
what
real
I'm saying?
person?
Unless you know,
Yeah, I would get that.
Nah.
if it's a friend of
that
a
person.
friend, and you know that's how
Yeah,
y'all met or
and-
talking,
Oh,
you know,
I was
stuff
in a
like that.
situation one time. I didn't even want the person to breathe near me. It just. I'm
So
sorry.
this is a real question from
Yeah.
a real person.
Yeah, this happens every day.
So she is a she.
Yeah.
So she is foul on two parts.
Uh-oh.
Okay. One, if you were unattracted to him, then you should have stayed that way from the beginning. You should not have taken it anyplace else to find out all those wonderful qualities that he has. Two, if you're not telling a fib, and I'm thinking it's going to be this number two, you may have found somebody else who might look better
Yeah.
than the person you have, and you think you want to jump for that one. But honey,
Grass.
go ahead and jump in that water if you want to. You'll
The
be
grass
asking
ain't
a question
always green
another
on the
day
other
The
about
grass is
something else.
not always
'Cause
green.
that is not true. You don't get into a relationship and not be physically attracted to
True.
a person.
Well,
Exactly.
I know some people in this day and time that they say, you know, it's a small pool of men to pick from, that they say, well, let me try, say, another skin tone, or let me try someone that has big breasts. I mean, they said, you know what, I don't like this, but I'm going to try it just to see if I can be happy with it.
But then you're not attracted to the person.
Right.
You're still not
Do you
attracted.
want to
was
be
like- I
with
was-
somebody, or do you?
But you know what,
But I
though?
would want
Did you-
somebody to give me a chance.
I mean, some people have a type, and some people go off of how they feel. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like pheromones is some real shit, y'all.
Mhm.
And people don't think that they are, but pheromones is real. Like if you like when you see a person, like you get all weird. You know, it's like, man, like you literally bug out when you see them, or when you around them, or when
Yeah.
you smell them. You know what I mean? And you know that's physical attraction.
Mhm.
Right.
That counts
Mhm.
as physical attraction. And you know maybe they have, you know, physical imperfections that you may not go for, or maybe they got issues with how they look. Regardless of all of that,
Right.
at the end of the day, if you not feeling something
Right.
physical
Move on.
towards a person, then that doesn't necessarily mean you got to be having sex with them.
Right.
But you got to be like, yo, I need to sit next to you at the movies for real.
Right. But I have heard people say that, you know, she got a good body.
Yeah, I've
You
been.
know, she got a good personality. But, you know, I
Her
can't
breath stink.
but I can't take her out in public. She
Like-
can't go out in public with me. You know what I'm saying? I heard people say that. Like,
But
she
you
can't
see,
go out in public with
I'm
me.
willing to say that, you know, I got no problem. But I've been willing to say that a couple of times. I was caught out there where somebody was, you know, they weren't attracted to me, but I did not know until a couple of weeks or so into it, and then they were like, you know, she said she just wanted to try because I was nice, I was good to her family, kids, whatever.
But that was her individual personal choice.
Right?
And
No,
that's-
yeah,
and that's
no, I
cool.
understand that. No, but the thing was, before anything went further, I appreciated the fact, and I have much more respect for that person because they were honest up front.
Right.
Versus 4, 6 months, even a month down the line, and I'm doing all these things and putting my best foot effort as a person,
Somebody
and you don't
could've
say
milked
that.
you.
Yeah, and the person is not feeling you anyway.
Yeah, that was real.
That wouldn't be a good look.
All right, the last one. This is crazy.
I thought you said that about the last one.
This
one before
this
that.
one looks long.
He don't know
too.
which one is the last
Check
one.
this out.
All right.
I think my boyfriend's baby mama is sexy. Like really sexy. She's beautiful. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm bisexual and I'm open to relationship with both genders. And I know she's curious too. She's not that typical baby mama and does baby mama or daddy drama. She actually is a sweetheart and takes care of her damn good. Take care of her daughter, and she busts her butt every day. Makes good money and goes to school. She's perfect. My boyfriend is pretty awesome too. We've been together for a few years, and he's a great father to our son. And he knows I'm attracted to women too, and he's open to having a girlfriend. I just want the best of both worlds. Is this possible for us to have a 3-way relationship
No.
and still maintain a normal life for the sake of our kids?
She's enough to make me turn off my mic and just leave. Okay? Because you know better. You know better. If you are in a relationship, be in that relationship and stop looking at something else.
And if you're
But
not
this is
satisfied,
the-
move on.
This
And
is
it's
his
her
baby mama, though.
boyfriend's
I
This
baby
is her
mean,
mama.
boyfriend,
that's
mama.
not even your part. I mean, you shouldn't even. You're gross. You really shouldn't even be in that. You should not even be looking in that section.
I
okay?
say if you're really trying to be out there, just go ahead and ask the girl. Maybe she want to get back on it one
It
more
might
time.
work.
The
No.
thing
How
about
about
it might work?
The thing I don't understand is like if she's so great and he's so great, what happened between them two? That should be your one question. And y'all
True.
been together for like 3, and now you're with this guy for 3 years. One, I would like to know why. It's different for everybody, but why after 3 years and you got a kid? Where's the marriage aspect coming in?
Right.
At the same time, and then
she's the one who's not great.
you got a point on that one. And then so I'm thinking like, and now he's open to it, so he's just being a greedy bastard in my
Yeah.
mind.
No, he's
He's
open
not
to
gonna
it 'cause,
turn
hey,
that
that's
down.
fun for the dude.
Yeah, because he like, hey, I
Definitely not gonna
got
turn
2
that
women
down.
fiending over me. Don't give a dang, and I got kids, and they still don't mind being a hoe. That's basically it. I'm just
What dude's not gonna say, "Oh man, my baby mama and my new girl, they like to get with me"? Come
can't
on.
do it. Can't
Get
do
a
it.
grip, chick.
I can't do it. Sorry, just shame if I'm shaming the men race, and so be it. But I can't do
No,
it.
you ain't shaming. If that's
What
how
you
you
got?
feel.
Me, like I said, me personally, I don't like to share, but all she can do is ask. That's all she asked the man. Now all she can do is ask the girl.
Do it.
And maybe it would be easier for the dude. Look, I have been propositioned before. It was so but that's all you can do is ask. It's either a yes or a no. I mean, it's not for me though.
I mean, it's one of those things where I guess I kind of have to agree with you, Bless. I mean, you can ask the question and see what happens, and if it goes down, then I guess everybody's happy. I mean, there, in all seriousness, there are cultures where this is pretty common.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's not common here in the Western world,
Right.
but
what
there
was
are
that
parts.
movie that had this?
I
Was
don't-
it Twice?
No.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
No,
That movie didn't
Yeah.
end up so well.
No.
though.
Yeah.
Neither one of them
Yeah,
did.
there's 3 of them.
There
Actually.
Yeah,
was a
there's 3
Spike
of
Lee
them.
movie, wasn't there?
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about with the gentleman.
Anthony
that's,
Mackie.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
hate
And,
me, she hate me.
He she hate me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's like that worked out, but that's going to be very rare.
I mean, again, it's one of those things where he's going to be the one that's going to be the villain here, but he ain't do nothing.
It won't his.
You know what I mean? He's going to be
Yeah.
the villain because he's the dude. But his girlfriend is the one looking at like, yo, your baby mom's alright, yo.
And then when he
nice
turn
stuff
around and
about
go
her.
sleep with her again, then she's gonna have a
Then she
problem.
gonna be mad. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
she's got to
And even
prepare
if it-
herself for the repercussions.
Even
of
if
not
it does
fire.
happen, how long do you think it would even last? That it would even work?
They'd have to set all that out if it's just a one-time thing. But she's like
Nothing,
I said, she
just a
got to be
one-time
ready
thing.
Just got a lot
because
of
there's gonna be
rules.
some
Yeah.
jealousy involved with that. Eventually, there's gonna be some
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeast infections. You just
Yeah,
don't
all
know.
kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
Then you got to
at
think
the
about the
least-
kids. The
at
kids
the
will pick up
least.
on this.
Are you?
The kids will pick up on
you
this.
know, are you going to switch condoms? Are you going to switch off
Yeah.
condoms before you go into the other
Wow,
person?
did you
I
get
mean,
damn, Steven? I mean, it's a fair place to take it, but you really took it there.
I mean, seriously, hey.
I'm just grossed out already. I mean,
Yeah.
She roast me
It's
out
just
from
like the
start of this
segment, the
question.
last question where all the brothers just checked out.
Yeah.
I think the
They're back
sisters.
on
No,
now.
the brothers back on, and the sisters just.
Yeah, they like, yeah.
Ain't no how
Yeah,
stepping.
about time for it.
Yeah, ain't no how stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den Legacy Internet Radio. We're gonna take another break. We come back, the co-host of the show. That's why Butler's taking it over. You want to
Peace.
tease him a little bit?
Don't y'all just love